Coulda, coulda, shoulda, woulda, shoulda put up the daggone post to ask her fans to stop bullying and being racist towards Orlandria and Shelly, point blank, period. And yes, she did too much during a heart rate challenge. Hey y'all, it's Chloe and we're back with another video. Love Island USA Season 7, The Reunion. It has some good points and it has some low points, and we got some things to get into, okay? But before we do, if this is your first time here, sit back, relax, watch the video through, and if you like what you see and you like what you hear, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you are one of my lovely members or subscribers, hey y'all, how y'all doing? I'm ready to wrap up Love Island USA. I'm ready to wrap it up. Y'all, I gotta go touch grass. I gotta go touch the grass. It has taken too much of my brain space and I need to release it so I can get ready for Love Island games, okay? I hope you guys follow me along on that journey as well. But let's go ahead and get into this reunion. So as we already know, Ariana and Andy Cohen are the hosts. Now, I wanted a lot more from Andy because I felt like he was going to give it how he usually give it. And he did somewhat of that, but not as much as I would have liked, okay? Everybody looked absolutely beautiful. I will say that I think Clark, she ate that. She definitely ate that, okay? Clark it. All right, so the first thing I noticed is that we have our final four on the stage, right? And I'm already irritated because it felt weird not to see Shelly and Ace and Taylor and Clark on the stage. That was my first thing. Like, I don't know why it bothered me so much, but it really did because I felt like they also played a big part in everything that went on. But I understand where they was coming from. We got to talk to our final four, right? So we get to watch the Final Four journey and how they came to this, this love that they found on Love Island. I was not impressed at all. The only couple that really gave me the feels was Nick and Alandria, because y'all know we kind of been rooting for them from the beginning. Now, Brian and Amaya, I did like their journey for what it was, but now I'm just sitting here side-eyeing Brian because he really pissed me off real bad, okay? So Amaya and Brian are still doing good at the time that the reunion is filmed. They brought up the cheating rumors that Brian had going around, and he said that people are just trying to throw hate his way. And about the cheating video, he got paid to be at a party, okay? And he had a lapse of judgment, and him and Amaya worked through it. What was the lapse of judgment, Andy asked? Oh, I was pouring shots and stuff. Excuse me? Do we look like we was born yesterday? Since when does pouring shots and stuff mean you had a lapse of judgment? Absolutely not. You cheated. You definitely cheated. Whatever they said you did, you definitely did. Now, Maya said, I wouldn't be with anyone who wouldn't respect me. Girl, you stayed with that man. You definitely did. And he must have did it again because now she unfollowed him and they are supposed to be broken up. I already knew that Amaya and Brian wasn't going to make it long term, but I mean, right before the reunion is crazy. Crazy work. So Andy was like, well, Chris, you and Zach was there, so what did you see? Chris said, I ain't see ish. And that already lets me know that he saw some ish, because then he had to circle back and say, ain't nothing happened. Ain't nothing happened. Either you didn't see anything or nothing happened. Which one was it, Chris? Which one was it? We know the truth. That man cheated, okay? Now, Pepe and Iris are exclusive, but they don't agree on what exclusive really means. Whatever that means, okay? She acts like she wants to be his girlfriend, but she seems like she doesn't really want to be his girlfriend. He said he wants her to be his girlfriend, but he just hasn't asked her to be his girlfriend. Child, they unfollowed each other. They not together right now. And this is crazy because y'all really made them the fourth couple. The fourth couple, Iris and daggone Pepe. Be effing for real, okay? Now, Iris and TJ did have a closure conversation, and I respect that about Iris because her and TJ had a connection, and she was touching on that man. So he definitely deserved a closure conversation face to face. So when we saw her meeting up with him on TMZ, that was really just them, closing that chapter of their relationship. She said she just wanted to let TJ know that what she felt for him was real. They did have a real connection, but ultimately her and Pepe had a stronger connection. Now, Pepe says that he did talk to Hannah. They had a phone call and, they got the closure. We're going to talk to Hannah about the closure that they had later. So now Andy asked Huda and Chris what was going through their minds when they were breaking up and that lady was singing. And Huda was like, oh, I thought that was my sister because I couldn't see. Be effing for real. Be effing for real. Are you trying to get your sister a music deal or something? Why did you think that was your sister up there singing for y'all? Make it make sense, child. It just doesn't make sense, okay? So Andy asks Huda and Chris, how does it feel seeing each other, being around each other? And Huda said, I mean, it's fine. It's fine seeing him. And Chris said, this is just weird. It's weird as AF. Like, I don't know. So Andy wants to know, how does Chris' mother feel about, Huda now that everything has played out and she's been talking ish about him on the internet. Chris tried to keep it cute and he just said that she's happy about how everything played out. Oh, now she's happy with how everything played out when your sister was online defending her and defending y'all relationship when it looked like y'all was gonna win 50K. Okay. Okay. So Andy brought up when Huda said that Chris had a wandering eye on that podcast when she went on it and was talking hella ish about everybody, okay? But she just wants him to know that she's not angry about the wandering eye. She's not angry about it. What do you mean a wandering eye? I'm just really curious about what the wandering eye was, because according to you and Shelly, y'all brought Chris back for both of y'all, right? So where is the wandering eye coming into play when we already know that he was feeling Shelly anyway? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Hood is just like, oh, I'm not angry. We just wasn't a good match. That girl was literally just giving surface answers through the whole thing. No feelings, no emotions. And then when people was bringing up their feelings and emotions, it was, you're just beautiful. You're perfect. I love you. You're my best friend. The whole daggone reunion. The whole daggone reunion, okay? Now, Chris did say that he doesn't respect what Hood had to say about him in the press. And I wouldn't either. Because in the same breath, she sat there and told that man that she's thankful that he was the one there for her in the villa. But then she got out the villa and started talking hella ish about him. Make it make sense. Now, they not about to be friends. Heavy on them, not about to be friends at all. They gonna be cordial. They gonna keep it cute. Chris said that he could forgive, but he pretty much can't forget, okay? So we find out that apparently Huda reached out to Chris because she wanted to apologize. And Chris was like, you called me literally a couple of days ago. You had a whole month to do this and you just now decided to do this. She said that she saw all the hate that was going towards him and she wanted to call him because it was weighing on him and he didn't deserve the hate at all. You know what? I feel like Huda is calculated. We already know that people do this all the time. Whenever there's a reunion, somebody calls up somebody does something because they don't want to get dragged. They don't want to be called out. They want to seem like a good person. But my thing is, Huda, you caused the hate. You caused the hate. People already felt the type of way about Chris when it came to him, not really carrying you across the water or whatever the case may be. So he was going to get some backlash anyway. But then you got on a podcast and you perpetuated more hate, which made your stand start acting crazy. I just don't understand it. So Andy wants to know, is Huda dating? Is she in a relationship? And she's like, I can't talk about my new relationship because I'm in contract with Netflix. And I'm sitting here like, so is Huda about to be on Netflix? But then I thought about the fact that she's dating that man, Louis, who's on The Perfect Match. And I'm thinking to myself, how can you not talk about a relationship that you are publicly in right now? You've been on red carpets with this man. You've been on stream with this man. We literally saw all the clips of y'all hugged up and kissing and walking down the street and all the things. And you can't talk about it? I'm confused. It just doesn't make sense to me. But you know what? Shout out to you and Louis. Now, Nick and Alandra feels like the fans are pressuring them to make it official and they just out here living their best life. They checking off the bucket list. He's taking her wherever she wants to go. They doing all the things, other things. And according to Nick, the haters who think they are fake hate them because they ain't them. Okay? And he said, let your haters be your motivators. Look, some people feel like Nick and Olandria are a PR couple or relationship. I think they like each other. I think they have chemistry. But what I will say is, as long as they both agree that they are doing this for, the public, then I'm fine with it. What I don't like is when one person is invested and the other person isn't. So if they are doing this for PR, I just want them both to be in on it. Point blank and period, okay? They asked Nick that he reach out to Sierra. He said he didn't talk to her. He don't plan on talking to her because, she was posting some pictures and she was doing some stuff on IG and he felt like she was just trying to get some clout. Nick, you need to talk to Sierra. Sierra was a big part of your journey and y'all was closed off when she left the villa. And I think that that's completely wrong for you not to actually go have a conversation with her, considering the fact that you so-called cared about her so much. It's whack. It's whack. All you had to do was just have that final conversation. Let her know you're happy with Alandria. You thank her for, being there for you in the villa or whatever the case may be. But to like be like, I'm not talking to her. I don't have nothing to say to her. Like she did something to you. She didn't do anything to you. Yes, the way she got removed from the villa because of what she did was wrong. But y'all had a connection. So you at least owe her a conversation. Then maybe she wouldn't be on the internet crashing out low key. Because that's what she's doing. She really liked him. She thought that they was going to be able to, at least have a conversation when he got out, and he literally just ghosted that girl. But we already knew Nick wasn't into her like that for real, right? We knew that. Now, Clark Taylor, Shelly, and Ace come out. Ace sat down and said, let's get this ish rolling. I said, oh, we in for a ride, right? Oh, it's about to go down, huh? Baby, ain't nothing really go down pretty much. I thought we was about to get into some things. Nonetheless, Andy said that he wanted to ask Ace and Shelly how they felt about the curse of being exclusive. Shelly said she thinks that America missed the plot, okay, of what the show was about. The people were voting for their favorite person versus their favorite couple. And Austin was in the back to Jeremiah, was like, well, this is the system you designed. I can't argue with you when you're right, Austin. I can't. Because this is the system that they designed. They made this about favorite people versus favorite couples. Because when people were in couples, they were sending them home. So y'all started this mess and America finished it pretty much, right? Now Clark is living her best cowgirl life. Good for her over there on the ranch with Taylor. But I got my eye on him because I see some things on the internet that makes me feel like he needs to be watched. Very, very much watched, okay? So Andy asked Olandria, did you think Taylor was still torn between you and Clark? Olandria said, inside the villa, I thought he was. I really did. But once I got out, I saw some clips, I heard some things, and he said that he wasn't physically attracted to me. And the way everything was edited, it made it seem like she was chasing him, and that ain't never been it. She's not that girl that be out here chasing men, okay? She said that she felt like he was just respecting her boundaries because she's a slow burn. But now she realized that he just wasn't even attracted to her for real at all. And I'm like, girl, the way we was yelling at through the screen every time you was talking about that man and we kept saying, he don't like you, he don't like you, he don't like you. I'm glad that you realized that that man played in your face the whole entire time. And the part that got me about it is that it seemed like all the men in that house knew that he didn't like her. When you listen to the side conversations that Austin and TJ and all of them have, it's very clear that they all knew that he didn't like her, okay? Now, Ariana asked Taylor, does he feel like he owes Alandria an apology? He says he does, okay? But he was waiting for the right time because he wanted to do it in public, so I guess he chose the reunion. And he gave us this pitiful ass apology. He's sorry, and that's his dog. What? Taylor, the way you humiliated this girl knowing you wasn't attracted to her, the way you stepped your game up to make it seem like you really liked her when you know you didn't, when Jalen was in the house so she didn't give him a fair chance, then you just gonna sit up here and say, I'm sorry, but you still my dog? Okay, I choose Clark, right? So now we're talking to Shelly and Ace and we're like, hey, what's the timeline? What is the timeline? Because people think that this is a scheme that Ty set up to come to us with the bullshit, okay? Now, according to Ace and Shelly, they met at a club. They exchanged socials. He was liking some pictures. He would post some comments, but that's what Ace do. Now, Andy was like, well, some fans noticed that, you was liking pictures all the way back to 2022. And Shelly was like, well, that can't be because we didn't really meet till like last year for real. And then Andy was like, well, maybe he just went back and liked some old pictures. Oh, he probably did. Because the only thing that I can think of is that Ace really did like Shelly when he met her. Liked her enough to push up on her and then probably trying to get her attention by just liking some pictures because you get your notifications. So I can see that being a thing. So Andy wants to know why they think America ranked them low in the Pop the Bubble challenge. Shelly said that she think after the heart rate challenge, that's when things changed. And that's when people started calling her a mean girl and they just took that narrative and ran with it. Yes, and it didn't help that Huda got out the villa and pushed that narrative even further. So Alandria said that she thinks people got it all wrong. Ace wasn't a villain and Shelly wasn't a mean girl. And she hates the hate that they are getting. Listen, I'm not going to say Ace was a villain, and I'm not going to say Ace wasn't a villain, but Ace definitely had his hands in the pot stirring some ish, okay? We all felt the way about the way Ace and Shelly was going through this whole process, and that is the result of what we have now. We can't rewrite history. We just can't, okay? Because if they would have been more transparent about them actually being together and wanting to be together, we could have had a regular show. But because Ace wanted to pick Amaya just for fun, it just threw off the whole timeline on how everything was going, okay? Now, I hate the hate that Shelly and Ace are getting, but it's not because of the show. It's because of racism. If it was solely because of the show, have your opinion. But at this point, it's beyond the show. It's literally racism. Now, Shelly and Ace are exclusive, and he's planning on asking her to be his girlfriend. I don't know what you're waiting for. I don't know what you're waiting for. Do it. Love Island has been over for a month now. Y'all already exclusive. You're exclusively in love. You love her. She love you. What are we waiting for to be boyfriend and girlfriend? It's not like y'all getting married or engaged. But he said he wants to do a grand thing because we know Ace like to do grand gestures, I guess. But he did say that she would be his first and last girlfriend. I'm here for it. I just want y'all to go ahead and do it already, okay? Now, more of the Islanders come out on stage. Some Casa people, Austin, Adriana, and we got Zach online. Why? Why, Zach? We really didn't need Zach at all, okay? Half these Islanders, let's be honest, we didn't need. We didn't even hear from JD. I don't even know why he was there. Was he even there? I felt like I seen him, but I didn't hear him at all. So Ariana asked Coco what did she mean when she said online that the girls were giving standoff vibes. She said the Casa girls were good, but Orlandria was standoffish, especially when she made her return. Orlandria was like, yeah, I was standoffish. I don't know y'all. I don't know y'all. And I'm like, you got to think about Orlandria going to the daggone Casa Villa with all these girls that she never met before, and seeing these guys that are in couples, quote unquote, with her friends back at the villa. Yeah, is she going to be standoffish? She comes in there, Taylor's booed up with Clark, and she don't even know where she fit in at this point. Come on. She said that, I wasn't rude to them, but I also wasn't going to be fake and phony. Like, I was just still trying to process everything. And I feel like that's fair. If the girl wasn't mean to you, if she wasn't calling you names, if she wasn't acting funny, I don't understand what the issue was. And why is it so bad for someone to be standoffish? Did she need to come in straight away and start giving you hugs and you my best friend, and I love you? Is that what y'all wanted? Like, be for real. Be for real. Now, Andy said that he saw a video where JD asked if, she wanted to speak to Coco. And Alandria said that she was cool. Alandria said, yeah, I was cool. I was cool because I liked her in the villa, but she went on a podcast and talked about how Alandria was walking around the villa like Taylor's my man, when her and Coco barely spoke to each other. They were barely around each other. So how would you even know that? So now Alandria is running down the girls on the couch. Did I ever call him my man? Was I walking around calling him my man? Did I say that man was my man? And they like, no. And Coco's like, that's not what I was doing. I wasn't trying to be shady. I wasn't trying to come for you. What I was saying was that it seemed like you and Taylor was locked in and that you was kissing a picture of him. And I thought it was really cute. I thought it was really cool. But she said that she wasn't really effing with the host when she was calling Olandria delusional. Listen, Coco, you got caught up. You say that your intentions probably wasn't to be shady or come for Olandria, but that's what you did. That is what you did. You let that girl play in your face, get you riled up because she wanted some clickbait content, and that's what you gave her. That's what you gave her. It is what it is. Olandria just feels like you should have went on that podcast and spoke about your experience, and then you could have spoke about my character, the person you actually got to meet, not what America got to see. And that's the thing. Everybody came out the villa and they saw that, America was making Shelly and Olandria the mean girls. And they got out the villa, and instead of clearing it up, they pushed the narrative further. That is the problem. And because they pushed the narrative further, this goes outside of the show. Now we are in racist territories. And I just need y'all to understand. Like, this isn't about liking a person on the show. This isn't about, what happened on the show. Like, at this point, America has lost the plot to what Love Island is as a whole. Everybody done jumped off the deep end at this point, okay? She just wished that, she would have cleared it up. Now, here's my thing, Coco. Even if You wasn't trying to be shady. You wasn't trying to be messy. Why were you liking comments and negative stuff that people were posting about Shelly and Alandria? So now I have to assume that you were being shady and you was trying to come for her. Sorry, girl, not sorry. So now Andy wants to know who came out the villa and was, playing into the negative stuff. And I was sitting there like, y'all might as well go ahead and say Huda because we already know that she was the main culprit. And at the time, Olandria was just like Coco. And while Andy's trying to figure out who it was, Coco cut Andy off like, I want to talk, I want to talk. She said that she DM'd Olandria to squash everything, right? And Olandria said, man, I don't care about that DM. I don't care about that, okay? She said what you did was public, so she feel like the apology should be also public. Don't be trying to do stuff in private. And I agree. You sat there, you liked those negative comments. You sat there, you said what you said on that podcast. You was trying to be shady. You was trying to be messy. Don't try to play up now because you see the Nicolandria stands are rising up. Now you all of a sudden want to take back everything that you said. Girl, bye. Apologize and move on. Like, just own it. Just own it. And I will respect it that much more. But to try to make it seem like you're the victim in the situation is crazy, Coco. It's crazy. You did what you did. Tell Alandria you had a lapse of judgment like Brian, and you are really, really sorry. You never meant to hurt her. You got caught up in the moment and with everything that was going on, and you just fell into the trap. That's what I feel she should have did. But hey, we are here now. So Andy was like, and who else? Who else, fed into it? So Shelly said Vanna, because Vanna said that Shelly was standoffish. And Shelly is like, we never talk. We never really talk. And Vanna said, and I tried to clear that up on my live. Because the way the podcast did, they never really showed everything. Okay. See what I mean? At least Vanna owned up to the ish that she said. At least she owned up to it. Yes, she didn't try to clear it up. It is what it is. I just feel like y'all played. They played. Them Islanders got out that daggone villa and played. Because no matter how America felt about Olandria and Shelly, if y'all experienced a different version of them, there was no reason for y'all to come out here and join the hate train. If the fans don't like what they see from an hour show, okay, cool. But y'all were in the villa with these people. Y'all experienced them in a different way. And instead of coming out to say, oh no, that's not what it was given. Oh no, they were really sweet. Oh no, they were really nice. Y'all sat there and played into it. And then you played into a narrative when you didn't even really get to experience the girls for real at all. Like, y'all was literally in the house for like 2 seconds with these girls. It's crazy. I don't respect none of that at all, okay? So now we got Zach on the screen, right? And they like, so people are saying that you only wanted to get back with Amaya once you realized that she was America's favorite. Amaya agrees. That's the only reason why he wanted to, make up with her, even though he claims that it was like, oh, people go through things. Relationships has its up and down. Relationships argue and make up. Zach, please. So once you found out that girl was America's favorite, your whole tune changed. You was damn near cursing that girl out doing the stand on business challenge. Now all of a sudden you want to apologize. Miss me with that. Miss me with it for real, okay? So now Andy said that Zach said something about Brian, only really doing this for the money. And Zach like, I don't remember that. I remember that. I remember that, and so do Brian. But here's my thing. Both Zach and Brian did this ish for money. Both Zach and Brian did this ish for money, which is why Brian did whatever he did to Amaya, and which is why Amaya unfollowed his behind. Now, Brian said that Zach was in there really trying to strategize when it came to like the game or whatever, and he didn't really want to talk to the girls. He only pulled people for chats when the cameras were on. He really just wanted to chill with the boys. We saw that. Amaya said that. Amaya said, oh, I ain't talked to him in days, and we're in a couple. So I believe it. But my thing is, both of y'all was on some bullshit. Let's be honest, okay? Now, Austin and Jaden left as a couple. They not together anymore. He doesn't know what happened. And I'm like, what do you mean? Did he ghost her? What do y'all mean y'all don't know what happened? Like, why y'all taking so long to get to the point? So Jaden finally lets us know what happened, okay? She said that she felt blindsided. She texted Austin and told that man, if you want to date people, if you want to hunt your people, whatever you want to do, please just let me know. Don't have me out here looking stupid because now we're associated with each other and I don't want to be humiliated. And Austin said that he don't think he replied to the text as if that was going to be so much better. What? Adriana jumped in and said, no, Austin, you did respond. You did, okay? He said that he liked her and he was going to respect her, and he didn't. Thank you, Andrina, for clearing that up because the way Austin sitting there acting like he don't even know what's going on. What was Austin on? At one point, he was halfway asleep. At one point, he zoned out. He don't remember nothing. Like, Austin, if you ain't want to be there, you didn't have to come for real. Like, let's just be real. You didn't, okay? Now, Pepe and Grayson found out that Huda wrote the stand on business note about Pepe not really liking Grayson like that, and she was hurt. She was hurt because she felt like the girls was playing in her face. All y'all knew Pepe wasn't feeling me, and no one said anything. Blame Huda. Huda sat there and said that she didn't expect for it to hurt her that bad and she felt terrible. Okay, okay. But if you didn't expect for it to hurt her that bad, why didn't you just say that in the moment and stand on business? I wrote it because it's obvious that we feel like Pepe don't really like you like that, Grayson. Instead of helping the girl out, being a girl's girl, you wrote the note and didn't even, clarify or even put her to the side to let her know how you really felt about it and that it was you. Like, come on. Everybody's walking around girls, 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 girl. But look how you did Grayson. Ciao. But anyway, let's move on. Ace and Shelly were fine watching each other exploring Casa because it made their connection stronger. Coco feels like Ace led her on because he always knew that he was going to choose Shelly. I agree because at one point I honestly thought that Ace was probably going to choose Coco. The way he was over there in Casa, like acting like he really liked her, whatever. I honestly felt like at one point that he might have chose Coco. I'm not gonna lie. So I can totally understand why she felt that way. Even though Ace said, I really was just trying to get to know you for you. I mean, I get both sides of it, but yeah, you did lead her on. Because let's be real, Ace, you knew you was going to pick Shelly, right? Right. So Hood explained what she meant when she said she was bringing Chris back from the both of them. And Shelly said that she felt like Huda was really just bringing him back for her, and she made it seem like it was for both of them. Now, we watched this whole conversation unfold, right? And I feel like what Huda said is what we saw. I'm not gonna lie. What we saw is what Huda said. But Shelly also made it a point to bring up other conversations that they had. But here's my thing. Huda said that she was gonna bring him back anyway. And the part of the reason she was going to bring him back anyway was because she wanted Shelly to continue to explore with him. Girl, no. You was going to bring him back anyway because you needed somebody and he was going to be your somebody. You literally jumped on that man and kissed on that man and then went to Shelly and said that he's interested in you and you interested in him and you was going to bring him back so that they both can explore. But then got mad and talked about how he had a wandering eye when you said that you was bringing him back for her too. Child, make it make sense. It's not making sense. So now we are watching Hannah jump from Charlie and Pepe, then ultimately wanting to be with Charlie. And then Charlie end up getting dumped from the island, and y'all know how the rest went, right? And now, Hannah, I'm not going to lie to you, girl. You are the reason that America chose you to be with Pepe and Charlie got dumped from the island. Because you were so indecisive. You were jumping back and forth between the two of them. You was playing in Charlie's face with Pepe. Okay? And I honestly feel like it really didn't matter anyway, because as soon as Charlie left, you was on Pepe like white on rice anyway. Right? Charlie expressed how he was really, really hurt by Amaya's vote to, get him dumped from the island because he thought that they was cool and that everything was going fine between them because they had a conversation and she had reassured him that everything was going to be great, everything was going to be fine. So that really hurt him. Amaya said that she was sorry and her vote wasn't personal. And Amaya, let's be real, it was personal because when he came to you to try to explore connection with you, you got so upset that you started crying because one hand is your friend and you felt like he was playing. You felt like he only wanted to talk to you because he saw Hannah getting close with Pepe. So it was personal. Like, I still don't understand why everybody's up here acting like we didn't watch the show that we watched. Now, Charlie said that he felt like he was the easy vote and everybody voted for their favorite, even though him and Hannah had a strong connection. And that may be true. But also, Charlie, we didn't really know how strong the connection was because Hannah was literally going back and forth between you and Pepe for about a week or so. Okay? Anyway, he felt like Taylor should have been the one that went home, especially because we know that he didn't like Orlandria for real. And that's how I know that they all was in that house talking about how Taylor didn't like Orlandria for real, which makes me even more mad at Taylor. And let's be honest, they wasn't going to send Taylor home, point blank, period. There was no discussion about that whatsoever, okay? So we do get to see the deliberation between the ladies when it came to Hannah's elimination. So I'm going to say this. We were supposed to be going by strongest connections. That's what Olandria said. Olandria said, let's go by strongest connection. Once we talked about Pepe and Hannah, we agreed that they had a strong connection, so we probably shouldn't send them home. Shelly then said that she didn't want to do it that way because Hannah's connection were so instant, and we already saw how that played out with Huda and Jeremiah. And Sierra felt like Iris deserved more time, and they really just didn't want to send Amaya home at all, right? So they end up sending Hannah home. I get it, but I still don't. I get it, but I still don't. Because let's be real, Shelly and Ace had an instant connection. He was just using Amaya so that he can pretend to explore. Let's be real, Iris should have went home. She had just got there. Y'all really didn't know her for real. Y'all could have sent her home with no problem. But instead, y'all sent Hannah. Why? Why? But anyway, Hannah's crying because she realized that the girls didn't want to send her home. They were really like distraught over making this decision. You could tell that it really hurt them to make the decision, but they still made it. And I think Hannah, the way she handled it was very beautiful because she said it really didn't matter at any point because whoever would have got sent home would have been hurt. And if she would have stayed, we wouldn't have had Brian and Amaya and Pepe and Iris. And I'm like, girl, at this point, you probably could have stayed because we don't got them now. But hey, Hannah was very, very sweet about it. Belle Dashay is here. She looks beautiful. She's happy for Nick and Alandria. Moving on. Jeremiah is here, and we got to get right into this pancake gate because apparently Jeremiah can't make no pancakes. Now, Jeremiah says that he agreed that him and Huda's relationship was toxic. But Jeremiah feels the type of way with how Huda will go back and relay the conversations that he had, okay? And we saw that she did that a lot. She always added in some stuff and took out some stuff so that it can seem like he was into her more than he was, okay? He claims that he wasn't love bombing her, and I'm not about to get into it with y'all because I do feel like he had a little bit of love bombing in him, okay? I'm not gonna lie to y'all. He asked her, do you even know what love bombing is, you illiterate ass bitch? Like that, he didn't say all that. He didn't even say all of that, y'all, but that's basically what it seemed like he wanted to say, okay? He doesn't feel like he was love bombing her at all, especially when she was the one who was saying, oh, I love you within 2 to 3 days. Now, listen, Jeremiah, you fed into the bullshit. You fed into it. Whether you love bombed her or not, you fed into it. Okay? He said the only thing that he really guilty of is liking someone so much so fast. And to that point, I'm going to let you have it. I'm going to let you have it. But he is still mad at Ace because Ace called him a scammer. And Ace said he didn't feel like he was genuine. Because when the guys were talking, he was talking about, you know, his followers, how his followers going to go up, about winning the money and stuff. Jeremiah said that he mentioned winning the money, but it wasn't really like that. It was like more so of a joke. But Jeremiah, you mentioned winning way too much. Even if it was 1 or 2 times, it was more than enough for me, okay? Because I also felt like you was scamming. I'm just putting it out there, and y'all was mad at me for it, but hey, it is what it is. So Andy asked Andrina, how did she feel about, you know, Taylor's comments about Jeremiah saying that he didn't want anyone to talk to her when she got into the house and how he was being possessive. Andrina said, that's not a question for me. Taylor said, hold on. What I said was, Jeremiah was like, I'm going to talk to her all day so no one else can. Oh, and don't forget, Taylor, he also was hovering around because you said that he was hovering around even when you was talking to Andrina. Remember? Okay. Even though Jeremiah said, oh, it was a joke, Taylor meant what he said when he said it, point blank, period. It's a whole lot of backpedaling going on. Y'all need to stand on business. Matter of fact, make this a challenge so that everybody can say how they really feel at this point, okay? So now Ace asked Austin, when we was doing a challenge and the question was who should be X from the villa, you picked Jeremiah. Why did you pick Jeremiah? Austin said, oh, I did it as a joke. And Ace was like, well, you see how jokes get people kicked off, right? Woo, child. And I'm not going to hold you. Austin definitely probably thought Jeremiah should have been out the villa. Because at the time, Jeremiah and Huda was running amok up in that daggone villa, making it very uncomfortable for everybody, okay? Austin feels like people were going home either way. People was going home whether I poured the water on them to get axed out, and they was going home if they was in strong connections. So it really don't matter. Y'all, you can tell that Austin and Ace don't like each other. It's definitely some beef between them. Austin tried to make it seem like, oh, we are family, you know, whatever. No. They don't F with each other, for real. I don't even know where it really stems from. I don't know if it's because of Shelly or whatever, but baby, they got some real beef. So Nick wanted to make it a point that he did not want to vote Jeremiah out, Baby, let me tell you something. When we saw the footage of them deliberating on Jeremiah getting eliminated or whatever, it was Taylor. And Taylor said that in his interview, he said he was the one who wanted Jeremiah out, and it was obvious. I feel like Ace didn't do as much as we thought he did. Because you couldn't tell me that Ace wasn't in that daggone deliberation, like, get him out of here, get him out of here. It was Taylor. Taylor was rallying him up, okay? Nick was fighting for him. I would give you that, Nick, and that's why Jeremiah feels comfortable with their friendship. One thing about Nick so far, he's been very much honest with how he feels about everything, because when he said he wanted Hood out, he meant that. Nick felt like Austin should have been gone because he didn't have a connection. So then Andy asked Ace, how did he feel about, people saying that he was the ringleader? Ace said, listen, everybody in this group is grown. Everybody can make their own decisions and everything that they want to do. It's not my fault that I'm the most vocal. Anything that I got to say, I'm going to say it. And that's true. One thing you could say about Ace, he wasn't phony. If he felt some type of way about you, he let it be known. Charlie felt like Ace was pretty much keeping tabs on people, asking people like, oh, who you going to chat with today? How you going to do this, that, and the other? Like he was like, running everything on the low. And that made Charlie realize that he needed to keep his cards close. Jeremiah also felt like Ace was the ringleader. I feel like Ace definitely stirred the pot. Okay, he definitely stirred the pot. Now, people would say that, Nick and Taylor was following him and this, that, and the other. Don't be mad at Ace if they want to be followers. That's all I got to say about it, okay? But Ace does say that he regrets sending Jeremiah home. And I feel like, you know what? That's fair. Because from that moment on, everybody started hating Ace. And I think he realized, like, damn, if I probably would have just, like, fought a little harder, sent Austin ass home, I wouldn't have to deal with Austin, and Jeremiah would be here. But the thing is, at the time, Ace was using Austin to play with Shelly to make it seem like they was exploring. That's all that really was, okay? We finally get down to the vote. Who was at the bottom of America's vote? Y'all, Hannah and Jeremiah at the bottom. I knew that. The first thing I said when I did my review, if y'all so mad because Jeremiah got sent home, why y'all didn't vote for him? I didn't vote for him, so I didn't care. But everybody was always up in the frenzy. Oh, Ace did it, Ace did it, Ace did it. If we would have just went by America's votes alone, Jeremiah was going home regardless. So I'm glad they showed that, because y'all was out here acting like it was World War III because Jeremiah went home, when I felt like that man was fake from the beginning. But hey, I ain't gonna say nothing because I don't need y'all jumping me in the comments now. Now, Ace brought up the fact that Amaya had did a post with somebody on Instagram dancing or whatever, talking about his height or whatever. And he felt like, you talking about bullying, but here you are bullying. Amaya said that she apologized to him about it, and she did try to get her team to get it taken down. And that's when Ace was like, and that's what I mean. Why is everybody apologizing behind the scenes? Y'all doing stuff in public, but y'all not apologizing in public. And I feel like that's fair. He has every right to feel like that. My question is, why didn't we discuss what went down with Amaya and Ace? Because they don't want to show Ace really apologizing to her and making everything right. And I wonder why. Like, why are y'all so hell-bent on making that man the villain? Like, he didn't have any nice moments. Yeah, he probably did, go a little too far with Amaya, but he also went and apologized to her. Why y'all didn't show that? But Ace is upset because he feels like everybody went through this process together and nobody had his back. And that's exactly what happened. They all was in that house and they experienced each other in different ways. And instead of everybody trying to come together and be a team, they got out that villain and acted damn fool. Everybody got at that villain and acted damn fool. Okay? So now we get this Hurricane Hood'a segment of all her crash outs and her calling people bees and this, that, and the other. And we get back to her and she's sitting there laughing. And Andy is like, so what's so funny? Like, why are you laughing at your crash outs? And she's like, oh, because I had some time to self-reflect and everything, and I've grown a lot. And Andy was like, so you grown in the mud? Exactly. Because someone who saw themselves behave that way would literally be like, oh my God, I am so disgusted with myself. I really apologize to everybody in the house for how I made y'all feel, because now that looking back at that, I don't want to be that version of myself. But did you do that? No, you sat there and laughed. Girl, bye. I don't care. Hood'a disgusted me so much this episode, because she really didn't take accountability for nothing, and she tried to glaze everything. I'm sorry, I love you, you're perfect, you're my friend, we're a girl's girl, all that BS. Get it up out of here. I'm done with it, okay? Now, Andy did ask her how did she feel like she was being bullied. She said that she didn't feel like she was being bullied inside the villa, but when she got out the villa and she saw some clips, that's when she realized that she was being bullied. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. You are in an environment with people. and you don't feel any type of way. It's not until you get outside and you see some clips that was edited that now you feel like you was being bullied. And you want to know what the bullying was? It was them sitting on the couch talking about how, they tired of Huda crashing out. And because Huda looked at them and they was looking at her and they made a comment like, we're not looking at her, all of a sudden you're feeling bullied. No, people was just exhausted with you. Huda really disappointed me the most out of everybody because I was giving her the benefit of the doubt because I was always saying when she gets out the villa, I promise you she probably is going to put out an apology. She's probably going to ask her fans to stop doing the things that they're doing because I really thought that she was going to be a little bit better than that. But you know what? I shot myself in the foot because she did absolutely none of that, okay? But Shelly did apologize if Huda did feel bullied by her. I'm gonna let it be clear right now. Huda don't like Shelly. Huda don't like Shelly at all. Whenever Shelly would talk to Huda about whatever her and Alandria was experiencing, she only addressed Alandria because Huda and Alandria was supposed to be so close in this villa, right? Alandria is telling her how she was so upset. She was crying. Her mental health was like taking a toll on her because of the racism that she was experiencing. And she asked Huda to put up a post, to ask them to stop doing this. Stop doing this. And Huda said, I did address it. You addressed it in an interview and you know what you said? If I don't hate anyone, then y'all shouldn't hate anyone. That's not addressing bullying and racism. And at this point, it's not even about the bullying, to be honest. It's the racism. When Olandria said that her face was on George Floyd and Andy's mouth dropped, and first of all, I don't believe for 1 second that Andy and Ariana did not see that daggone picture. We did not address it for real. They glossed over it like it wasn't nothing. And we didn't even get into the fact that they got brands out here also being racist, putting knuckle sandwiches on posts for Shelly. Like, let's be effing for real. Love Island producers handled this all wrong because they didn't address it. We are sitting here talking about racism, and not one time did Andy or Ariana stop and say, this is never a good thing. Our fans should not be racist. Our fans should not be bullies. No. But in the beginning of the season, when everybody was dragging Huda for her behavior before they gave her a redemption edict, they was out there, we don't support bullying, this, that, and the other. We have yet to see anything about racism, and it pissed me off the most. The most. Huda's talking about, I experienced racism too, which is even more reason why you should be standing up for Alandria. Be effing for real. Like, I'm so over the way they handle all of this. It really made me feel some type of way. It really did. They came to a point where Shelly and Alandria just realized that they can't be friends with Huda because Huda did not stand up for them. And the fact that she has the most following and it's her following doing the shit and she did nothing about it is crazy. And the simple fact that she reached out to Chris because Chris was getting hate. But she didn't do the same for Alandria or Shelly. And the fact that her and Alandria was super close is even more effed up. Oh, let me move on because I'm getting worked up, y'all. I'm getting worked up. So now we get to the heart rate challenge and we get to see this video of what happened. Let me tell you something. She did too much. She licked that man's penis through his boxers. Yes, Chris may have had his head in there, but I'm sure his tongue didn't go on Shelly's panties. Then not only that, she pulled him down and she was riding that man in a thong. Riding him. I mean, grind on me. Let's take your time and all of that. Yeah, okay? And then when Shelly and Chris got up, she decided, let me take it a step further. I'm going to turn my ass around, put it on his face. And they cut that because they panned the camera. No, show us the full thing. If y'all want to show us the full thing, show us the full thing. She put her ass on that man's face. I don't care what nobody say. They definitely cut that. She did way too much. And the fact that when Andy asked Huda, would you have felt this type of way if Shelly did that to Jeremiah, that Huda shifted to Chris as if she actually really cared about Chris? No. We said Jeremiah. Once again, never got the question answered. Child, she did too much. I don't care. I said what I said. Don't argue with me. Okay? And Shelly wasn't the only one who felt like she did too much. Everybody there felt like she did too much. Shelly says she feel like her feelings were justified. I do too, girl. I really do. And so now we get this final clip because everybody thought that it was Sierra yelling in the background when she got evicted from the villa, but it wasn't. It was Huda and Iris in the bathroom screaming at the top of their lungs, singing a song or whatever. And that was the reunion. Woo, child, I gotta go outside and touch the grass. I gotta go outside and touch the grass because these people have wore me out. I am done talking about Love Island Season 7. We are jumping into Love Island games September 16th, I believe. And we're going to start all over. We're going to get a clean slate with Love Island, the whole thing, okay? Anyway, y'all, I really hope that y'all enjoyed this review. Get down in the comments, okay? Listen, you can disagree with me if you want to, but be respectful. Please just be respectful. Go ahead, like the video, and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. And with all that being said, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.